A two-time Super Bowl champ turned analyst has called for the Dallas Cowboys to trade away Dak Prescott. He even took it a step further and called the man straight garbage. We'll break that down and much more on this episode of Cowboys Digest. Welcome in, everybody, to Cowboys Digest. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis. And today we're going to be breaking down some of the comments that were made by a two-time Super Bowl champ, one of the best running backs that I've ever seen with my own two eyes, Lesean McCoy. He called out the Dallas Cowboys front office, and he called out Dak Prescott, plain and simple. But before we get into all of those comments, the idiotic comments made by McCoy, I want to let you know that 85% of you watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So go ahead and hit that sub button. It'd mean the world to me, and let's get straight into it. This is the comment that I'm referring to right here. Lesean McCoy. This, you'll have to go back and circle back a couple of years to find this. Dak is ass. Those were his comments that he made. Truly out of line, especially calling out the runner-up for the MVP award. I know Dak hasn't had a great season, but he said this, then Dak proceeded to finish in the top 8 of MVP voting. So Lesean McCoy totally out of line here, and he's also calling for the Dallas Cowboys to trade away Dak Prescott. I think the Dallas Cowboys should trade Dak, said FS1's Shedeur McCoy, the dunder-headed former NFL running back. Trade Dak, go out there, go to Colorado, get this quarterback named Shedeur Sanders. Now, he is not the first person to go out and say this. Obviously, Stephen A. Smith said the same thing just a week ago, that the Cowboys should tank, get rid of Dak Prescott, and trade Shedeur Sanders and draft Shedeur Sanders and bring his dad along with him, primetime Deion Sanders. Now, I don't know what these guys are doing, what these guys are smoking. I don't know how they get these ideas, because trading away Dak Prescott is not going to be an easy task. And whether you're a fan of the contract or not, he is an MVP candidate when he has the right pieces around him. Dak was set up to fail this year. They made no moves. They have nobody in the wide receiver room. The O-line is absolute garbage. Dak was not going to succeed with this roster this season. Now, you fast forward to week 11, he's out for the year. Cooper Rush is going to be starting tonight on Monday Night Football against the Houston Texans. That's where the Dallas Cowboys are currently at in their season, and I'm not going to pin it all on Dak Prescott. I understand that he's had his shortcomings, and maybe he could have done a little bit more, but I cannot pin this season directly on him. It falls squarely on the shoulders of Jerry Jones, the owner and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. Immediately after Prescott tore his hamstring 2 weeks ago, FS1's panel irresponsibly reported that Dak was faking the injury and is a quitter. With that damage done, FS1 is trying another angle. I think the Cowboys should trade Dak, said McCoy. Trade Dak, go out there and get Shedeur Sanders, which obviously I'm repeating there, but it just gets more ridiculous the more I read those sentences right there. And here's the short version of the reality. If Dallas were, for whatever reason, to trade him before June 1st, it would eat $90 million in dead money. Same if he's cut. Same if he retires. If Dallas trades him after June 1st, there is cap relief, but the Cowboys would get no 2025 picks for doing so. Also, Dak has veto power on any trade, so he'd have to approve it. Also a factor, the Cowboys have already written the $80 million signing bonus check. So in terms of both cap and cash, Jerry Jones and company would be making an idiotic move to dump him. Now, I wouldn't put it past Jerry to go ahead and mismanage the cap like that. But Jerry's a shrewd businessman, not the smartest football mind out there. I think we've established that after 30 years of tenure for Jerry Jones, who was carried in the early portion of that by Jimmy Johnson and then wanted his fingerprints all over everything. And this is what you get, Jerry. When you try to run a football team and you're not a football genius, this is what happens. This is the on-field product that you're going to see. Is there an eventual escape hatch? The Cowboys helped invent this concept, and it is now standard practice. Going into 2027, the dead money is down to $17 million, and the cap savings is $45 million. So Dallas, in the spring of 2027, would gain $28 million of overall room if the club decides that it's done with Dak at the age of 34. So That's interesting. And obviously, I think Dak is the guy now. Dak, they have committed to him. They have committed to Prescott, and he is the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, at least in the short-term future here, for at least the next 3 to 4 seasons, I'd say. And there's no escaping this now. He is your guy. You committed $60 million a year to him. But one thing that I did want to get to here is I wish people had common sense and realized that in extending Dak and CeeDee, the Cowboys clear cap space. Dak clears about $20 million and CeeDee $15 million. The Cowboys have the 12th most cap going into next year and 5th most in 2026. The Cowboys can easily afford Micah Parsons. Big extension does not equal no money afterwards, because all of that is converted into signing bonus. In the case of Dak Prescott, $80 million signing bonus of his $240 million contract. So the Cowboys are finding a way to give him some money up front and managing the cap. So I think it was a good decision. It is hard to find a very good quarterback in this league, and there aren't many out there that are better than Dak Prescott. He's a top 10 quarterback. He's a proven guy in the regular season. Obviously, you'd like to have more playoff success, but he's not the reason why the Cowboys gave up 48 points in a playoff game to the Green Bay Packers last year. There are a lot of holes on this roster that need to be addressed, and hopefully Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones will address those holes in the offseason. But trading away Dak Prescott not only creates a bigger hole on your roster, it totally handcuffs you financially for the next few years. So you can talk trash about Dak all you want. You can call him garbage. That is simply not true. Saying stuff like this, that Dak is ass, is totally out of line by Lesean McCoy, and they just give anybody a mic these days. If you're a former player and you're semi-well-spoken, get on TV. It's not that hard. Pretty hard when you got idiotic takes like this. So, Lesean McCoy, I respect you a lot as a player, man. You were fantastic. 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time Super Bowl champ. Nobody's taken away those accolades from you. But to go out and call a current player who finished second in MVP voting what you just called him, I think it's totally out of line, and the Cowboys are not going to trade Dak Prescott. So all of you in the comments down below calling for this to happen, it's not going to happen. Jerry Jones has committed a ton of money to Dak Prescott. They have signaled him as the quarterback of the future for the Cowboys, and rightfully so. That is the going rate. That is the market value for an elite quarterback in the National Football League. You're not going to get one for under $55 million. So maybe it was slightly an overpay. Maybe Dak doesn't deserve to be the highest paid player in NFL history, but he damn sure deserves his money. And from a 4th-round pick to what he's accomplished now, putting up great regular season numbers, finishing in the top of the MVP race each and every year, he deserves to get that money. He deserves to get paid, and I don't think he is the main issue that the Dallas Cowboys have. Can they get better at quarterback? Maybe, but I think that's a question for 3 or 4 years from now. It's not a question that needs to be answered at this current moment in time by the Cowboys. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of Shady McCoy's comments saying that the Cowboys should trade away Dak Prescott, and the fact that he called him ass? Unbelievable. Let me know in the comments down below. Go Cowboys.